Well, hey everyone, welcome to The Corner. It's Jason and Chris.
Yeah.
I love doing this with you, Chris.
It's great. It's been a while.
It has been a while, and I love that this is the second week of small groups. It makes my heart very happy imagining such amazing leaders opening their homes and their lives to create space in our community for people to be part of a small group. And I know that in every small group, and maybe there's 35 or so small groups, there's at least 3 people that just showing up tonight is like a massive step out of your comfort zone. I'm that kind of personality. It doesn't come out on the surface, but I'm the kind of person I have to really psych myself up to go into a house where I might not know a lot of people.
You drive up and sit in your car for 5 to 7 minutes just trying to white knuckling the steering wheel.
You got this, Jay. You got this. Or more, it's more like, you know this is good for you. You might not want it in this moment.
It's part of your formation.
And some of you, it comes very naturally. All this to say, I just love that this is happening. Bless you all for gathering tonight.
I love looking at maps of where the small groups are because there's over 30.
It really touches every part of the city.
It's very cool. Last week, you also, if you were there, you talked about the pillars of our small group ministry, grow, connect, and serve. Or connect, grow, and serve is how we usually say it. That small groups are a place where you can connect with one another, grow in your relationship with God, and then serve the city together. And we shared a bit about that in a video like this. And one thing we also like to do is share key updates about the life of our church community. And there's something that's happening October 4th, which is a Saturday, called Team Day. And this day is for anyone who is on any of our serve teams.
And there's lots of people on serve teams.
There is.
Like there's probably a third of our church is serving in one shape or size. We don't have the exact number, but there's got to be more than 400 people serving in a given month at our church. Because if you think about the different teams, like there's the whole small group teams. Many of you, that's our serve team. Prayer ministry, youth, kids, alpha, hospitality, production, worship, freedom session, etc.
etc. And so this event is going to be at Church Untitled, which is in the heart of the city. It's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And really, this is a time for us to invest in you as our serve team, a time to cast vision, a time to get aligned, a time to worship together, to have a lunch together. It's really going to be a great time. I think we do this about once a year where we would gather all these teams together. And so we really would love to see you there.
So if you could just take a second right now, ask yourself the first question. Am I on a serve team? Because sometimes we hear that and we're like, oh yeah, I am. I volunteer in this way or I'm part of this team. So are you on a serve team? And you're also welcome to come if you're wanting to join a serve team. But more importantly, if you're part of a serve team, we want you to be there. So ask the question, can you organize your week on that week so that you can be there with us on October 4th? We're really looking forward to it. It'll be meaningful training. It'll be life-giving. It'll be spiritually refreshing. And really, it's once a year we get a chance to do this for us all to see one another, celebrate the good things God is doing, and then link arms in a way to say that we're serving together.
And I really like that Church Untitled space. It's just a cool place.
It's a new space.
Yeah.
They've just renovated another floor.
Maybe there'll be a picture that goes up on the screen right there. Well, this past week, we had our 5-year celebration. What's cool is that some of you watching this video right now were there at the very beginning of the Way Church.
And by there,
launching.
We mean on the internet with us.
Yeah, on the internet, over Zoom.
There was a few people that preceded the Zoom gatherings that were meeting in your home. Probably just 20 people. If you're one of those people, identify yourself to the group.
Yeah. And we celebrated 5 years on Sunday. And maybe you don't know this, but Jason preached a message that he shared right at the start of the church. When we started gathering in person, the first Sunday we ever did it, you preached this same message you shared this past Sunday. And so I'm curious as to why originally you chose to preach on this topic, and then why would you re-preach it at our 5-year anniversary celebration?
Yeah. The heart of the message on Sunday and the message when I preached it the first time 4 years ago was to put what we're doing when we say we're gathering as the Way Church, or at that time we're planting a church. You know, even as we think about Team Day, we're here to build a church together. I want to place the work of saying I'm part of the Way Church and I'm, participating in God's ministry in the city of Vancouver in this time in the context of his global church and the historical church, and ultimately his promise to build the church. Jesus makes a promise in the Gospel of Matthew, I will build my church, and all the plans of hell just won't get in its way. I mean, it's this bold promise. And in the intro to the message, I talk about our buildings as like a parable. And all three of the buildings we gather in on Sunday are a parable for the church. The church isn't a building, the church is a people. But our buildings are a powerful reminder. For example, Strathcona. We are grateful tenants of this space. But this building has been here for over 100 years. And when you look at the history, you realize that there's been Swedish Pentecostal churches there. There's been Catholic churches, Presbyterian churches, different denominations, different minorities meeting there, different cross sections of the city, different emphases, and all through the decades. But God has been building his church. And some of those churches don't exist anymore. Some of them still do, but some of them don't even exist anymore. But Jesus' church is doing just fine. And I like to fast forward and think 100 years down the road, the way church may or may not be still going, but Jesus' church will be doing just fine. We'll be dead. With all the modern advances in technology, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you could do a 140-year run.
It's possible. We'll likely be dead, and the church may or may not exist. And that doesn't really cause us to fuss very much because we have confidence that Jesus' church will be thriving. And why should we put our church in the context of the whole? I think because it gives humility and courage. There's a humility that comes. Like, we're not all of this sort of hoopla, even though we celebrate 5 years. It's like the real testimony isn't that God is building the way church. It's that Jesus keeps doing what he's promised for his church. And we're not trying to build a brand or too like caught up in this one piece, but we can understand with humility that the way church is part of his global church. Even in the city of Vancouver, so many different expressions of the church, and we're part of it. And it's a moment in history. And so there's a humility that comes. Be like, oh, we're a small piece of the puzzle. And I think that humility is good, but there's also a courage that comes where you go, oh, God's been doing this. Like, we have nothing to fear. We don't have to be afraid. We don't have to try to survive. We actually can have the courage to really thrive as a church knowing that this is a promise that Jesus has made. And there's been so many moments in church history where big intellects have sort of prophesied in the intellectual way, in the secular way you prophesy, that the church is coming to the end. And even recently, I'm so struck by this. I remember like 15 years ago, all of the data of the church in North America and how fast the decline was. And people extrapolating that data and going, see, this is going to die. And the most recent data about Gen Z engagement with church is just another reminder that there's a renewal happening in this church. So again and again and again, it can feel like, oh, the church is dying. It's falling apart. But then God brings a wave of his spirit. He raises up new voices and he revives his people and it expands its reach and impact in the world. And so we've got great reason to have humility. We're a small piece of the puzzle, but also courage.
Yeah, I do love thinking about the fact when Jesus first said, I will build my church, there was like 12 guys, 12 disciples, one of them being Judas, the guy's not even on the team really. And they must have looked around and gone, you better get going. Like that would take enormous faith to believe that Jesus would actually do it. But for us, it's a matter of historical fact that Jesus died, rose, sent the Spirit, and he's been building the church ever since. And we get to play a part in it, which is a beautiful thing. And so we're going to have you talk a bit more about some of these themes. And we have a discussion guide for the discussion leader. And we're going to throw it to you now.
Tons of love. See you later.